This is my final review of the Marantec Synergy 370 garage door opener. I have the garage door opener fully installed now. It took me longer than I thought. I'll be honest with you, garage door openers are very interesting. They seem like something you could do as a one-man project, but it does produce some difficulties in terms of getting it up and in terms of getting it all set up by yourself. It really would be ideal as a two-man job, and for a lot of homeowners I think it's something you might want to consider a professional installer for. I was able to get it installed. Everything's working, functioning properly. But there were some tricky parts. The biggest tricky part was obviously the fact that the belt connector, and I have another video on this already, had been wedged all the way back up into the sprocket that's now above the garage door body when it arrived. I think that was a manufacturing defect. I don't think it could have slid all the way up there onto the sprocket by itself. But it is the type of thing a professional garage door installer might have noticed before they put it up. In my case, I put it up, tried it out, tried moving the garage door back and forth manually with the power buttons on the back. And that's when I discovered that the connector had been wedged up in there, and I managed to actually wedge the connector even further back up into the body of the sprocket, and that caused a little damage to the sprocket. In the end, it functioned okay. It didn't break anything. But it's something to look out for, and again, it's a pretty good argument for why we have professional garage door installers. But overall, I'm very happy with the unit. As you can see, from here you can just barely see the electronics in the back. You can see the two little lights on the right that are for the interior battery. One of them just blinked green, telling me my battery's okay. I have the wires up at the top there that are all going up along the top of the bar to my motion detectors and to the manual garage door opener on the inside here. So there's my manual push button garage door opener. We might as well hit that right now. So there's the garage door opener. And here are our motion detectors. So you can see there's a little green light on the top. I'm going to click one off. Okay, you probably saw it blink there for a second. That's the one side, the green side. The red side is the, I believe, the receiver. I'm actually not sure if one is the receiver and one is the sender. I think that this is the receiver, but I'm not positive on that, so don't quote me. And here as well is the outdoor keypad unit. I have that set up as well. It's really not that hard getting the keypad and the key fob connectors to work. It took me a couple tries to get everything set up. The actual setup of the unit happens on the buttons I showed you on the back. So you can see the LED lights are on now as well because I opened the garage door. They're fairly bright. I wouldn't say they're blinding, but in terms of lighting up the garage, it's nice that they're on the side. It lights up things off to the side and the front a little bit better than my old one did. So there's the buttons on the back. You can see there's just 3 buttons. There's a P button and a plus and a minus. In terms of getting it set up, you just have to use the P button and the plus and the minus to tell it how far to open, basically, where you want it to stop at the top and the bottom, and tell it how to connect to the remotes. That's about it. Everything worked out pretty good in terms of the setup. I did have some trickiness with this J-bar. I initially set it, I think, a little bit too far forward. In other words, I had the slider here all the way up toward the front of the unit, and when it closed completely, it started to detect that it was producing too much pressure, too little pressure, and throwing up a code 28. So I had to actually, when I had this all the way in the front position, I had to move this a little bit farther forward so that this button was hanging at more of an angle, the J-bar was hanging at more of an angle. I don't know if that's something you'll run into or if that was just a particular trick of how I installed it, the angle, whatever it is. The old garage door, which is quite old, you probably heard it creaking a good bit there. That's just mechanical creaking from the garage door. It's something I was hoping, because this is such a quiet unit, that I'd get some improvement in terms of sound, but unfortunately a lot of that noise is just coming from the mechanical wheels and spring from the garage door, so I can look at those as well. But this unit itself, in terms of the engine, in terms of the power, is very, very quiet and really nice. So overall, I've tried to get past my problems with the connector. They did give me quite a bit of pain. I had to take the entire unit down. Other than that, I really like the unit. So if you do buy the unit, really just watch out for that. You see that white connector right up back there. Make sure that it is on the other end of the unit from the sprocket, which is where the garage door opener engine is. So make sure that when you set it up, you move that all the way down. You can see it visually right in there on the belt. So just that's the one thing I'd watch out for. I am going to recommend the unit. I think it's a great unit. It's got a lot of nice features, and it's just really nice looking. Everything's good about it. So watch out for that one little tricky piece. It's not in the instructions, so it's not something you can depend on being able to read the instructions and avoid. But I think if you're looking for a good garage door opener, the price isn't bad, and overall the quality and the workmanship of the unit are very good. So anyway, that's all. That's my final review for the Marantec Synergy 370, and I do recommend it, and I hope you enjoyed the reviews. Thank you.